Women's strawweight. Listen, man, the OG Angela Hill is looking to take another young gun out. Iasmin Lucindo, Brazil versus America right here. And this is actually a little interesting right here. Look at the line. AJ, are you surprised by this line? Minus 192 for Lucindo, plus 148 for Angela Hill. And granted, Angela Hill has recently closed as a favorite in some of these last couple of fights right here. So I think the best value on an Angela Hill fight is when she's an underdog, always, right? But I'm surprised to see a young 23-year-old Lucindo only be less than a 2-1 dog against the 40-year-old Angela Hill, who has been improving as the years have gone on. What do you think?
That was what I was going to say, Derek. Angela Hill has proven that she's given a little resurgence here, so I'm glad the bettors are putting some respect on her name. I think the odds are correct. I think Lucindo's the favorite right here, but it's good not to see another minus 300 on the card.
So this is one where you can actually find value, but let's talk paths right here, man. We know Angela Hill. We know what the story is. Muay Thai, walk you down, try to walk you down, of course, right? I think Lucindo is going to be able to walk her down just with the grappling threat, but jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Hill has gotten a lot better. I think it's fair. She shoots for her own takedowns at this point now. Is that the play, though? Is that the play you want to fight against Lucindo? Because I think you're going into her wheelhouse if you do.
Yeah, no, that if we see Angela Hill go pure D1 wrestler mode, I'm expecting a submission from Lucindo out there because Lucindo's dangerous, man. Very, very sneaky, great pressure, and hard to get away from once she actually has her hands on you. I think Angela Hill's going to want to keep this technical, want to keep it rangy. And if anything, if a clinch does happen, just throw those knees up and hopefully you catch one.
Yeah, man. Let's not forget, dropped the decision to Tabitha Ricci, bounced back with a split against Ketlin Souza, who just fought last week. We saw how that one went against Piera Lafiera Rodriguez, right? She got out. The common denominator between Souza and Angela Hill is they're both kind of like small, right? So Angela Hill, given that, I mean, realistically, if she could, probably would be an atom weight. I think that the physicality might be something that's going to be interesting because where I see Lucindo having the most success here is not out in the open. Don't get me wrong. I think Angela Hill is going to probably be a sharper striker, but in the clinch, right? Because the clinch is going to open up trips. It's going to open up wall work. It's going to open up getting you down to the ground and laying on top half guard for the remainder of the round and just squeaking out a decision, which is how ultimately I see this fight going. But I'm curious to see, do you see any finishing opportunities here?
Yeah, submission. If Lucindo is able to get her hands on Angela Hill, I think that's the most dangerous path going forward because Lucindo can not easily. I don't want to take anything with Angela Hill because she has been improving her ground game, but that's in her wheelhouse, right? Lucindo's just going to take over if that's the case. So if there's a finish or for the Lucindo side, I see a submission. I see it early too, right? When one of those things happens where you crash in, you get tripped, next thing you know, they got the backpack on you. Angela Hill, though, she does have a potential to squeak out a KO victory right here, or, well, a very technical decision, right? Maybe a TKO, something like that, but a very technical decision, a very striking, precise aspect of fight right here. I think Angela Hill can figure that puzzle out 9 times out of 10.
I was gonna say KO, bro. I have to scroll down. I haven't seen one of those in a while. You know what I mean? She got a submission more recently than the KO. No, but I hear what you're saying, man. I think that she could be very technical, and I think she can win dominantly if she just keeps this purely standing. Lucindo, again, she's coming into her own. She's only 23 years old. Striking wise, power, right? But that's where it ends for me. Power. I don't see there's no disrespect. I just don't see the same snap, the same crispness, the same ability to throw punches in bunches. I see overextended combinations, lack of combinations, but everything is a means to an end. And it's to set up a clinch to take you down, right? And that's how you could win the fight. Absolutely. So her last fight against Amanda Lemos, what did you have to worry about? You had to worry about 2 things. One, power coming back your way. I don't think you have that same threat with Angela Hill. And then Lemos could take it down too, So yeah, pull up the finish for me real quick. And while you're doing that, I want to address something because I'm looking at the total right here, which should be obvious. 2.5 rounds, women's strawweight, like duh, right? Minus 650 is what I was tracking, plus 475 for the under, right? So minus 650 for the over. If I'm not mistaken, bro, I went on ESPN Bet and it was like a half a round was the total. Can you cross check that for me real quick? Because and if you can, I'll pull it up myself. But that was nuts.
ESPN Bet. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was pulling it up, Derek, but I was gonna say the finishes on on FanDuel, you're still at 2.5 minus 650.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to pull it in. I got to log in.
Okay,
ESPN
no
bet.
worries. So let me go ahead and pull up ESPN real quick, folks, just so that you guys can kind of get an idea here. Because when I saw it, I was like, there's no way that anybody is betting on the ESPN book. First of all, man, I know that they try to hype it. Let's see, fight odds, totals. Look at this. I'm not crazy, right? You see that, right? Half a round,
Ooh,
minus 750. You bet the house on that, right? You bet your
you bet.
mortgage on that.
Absolutely. Throw all the money at that one.
Oh God. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy right there. But folks, with that being said, the play is very clear here. I think Angela Hill is unfortunately not a live dog, but there is a path. I just think Lucindo is the younger, more spry fighter, and Angela Hill at this point of her career, she's 40 years old, bro. She's entering the Jessica Penne arc of her career, and I don't know how much longer she can go because at this point, I'll love to overkill Hill, man. We've been rooting for her for a long time, but like are these the kind of fights that get you to a title? Like a big win here, does that get you to like closer to a title? Do you think?
Uh, a big win here puts you like 3 fights away from a title. I feel like there's a lot of people in line ahead of her. So does it get you
Yeah.
closer? Yeah, not really.
Part of the problem is the strawweight champ, Wei she fights once a year. So it's like, dude, how are you? You're gonna be 45 fighting for it. Strawweight. I mean, you need the speed, athleticism. She got plenty of it though. So the consensus pick, folks, very clear, is Iasmin Lucindo. I think money line is a very fair bet to make. But if you're looking spry, I would go to a decision, which the total on the decision here minus 130. Fair chalk.